Hey, what's up guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. This event is going to go down in less than 2 weeks now. Saturday, October 4th, 2025. Prelims begin at 6 p.m. It is going down from Las Vegas, Nevada. Pretty sweet fight poster they have here. 2 title fights. Pretty good card, man. Pretty good card. I definitely like the main card. So let's get into it, guys. Prelims. First up, Soriano against Nikolai Tikhonov. Soriano, he's fighting at welterweight now. He's coming off a big knockout, 2-fight winning streak. I wasn't too high on this guy at middleweight, but man, he absolutely destroyed Uros Medic back in January of this year. Beat Miguel Baeza, who's no longer with the promotion, I don't believe. Like I said, he did suffer some losses at middleweight and dropped down. Tikhonov, haven't been high on this guy. I think he did pick up a win in Louisiana in that Dustin Poirier card. But yeah, he beat Francisco Prado by split decision. But he's got a lot of losses, dude. I'm not high on this guy at all. Let's look at the odds here. Soriano minus 220. I'm going to side with Soriano here. Daniel Santos against Ju Sang Yu, featherweight fight. Yu, 12-fight winning streak, 31 years old. Beat Jekas Saragai in June. That was his only UFC fight. Daniel Santos, I believe he's a scrapper, man. He's a wild dude. 3-fight winning streak, 30 years old. Coming off a unanimous decision over Ji Young Lee, Johnny Munoz Jr., John Castaneda. So good wins, man. Good wins for him. Let's look at the odds for this fight. I'm sure Yu is a minus 125. So I'm going to side with Yu here. Again, not a whole lot of confidence in it, but I'm going to pick Yu, pick up the win here. Patchy Mix against the newcomer, Jacob Wiklacz. And again, Patchy Mix went from being on the main card to on the prelims now. After that loss he suffered to Mario Batista in his debut. Jacob Wiklacz, I believe he comes over from KSW, 6-fight winning streak, 29 years old. So again, I haven't watched any of his fights, but good to see the UFC signing some Polish talent, and that's good to see. KSW signing people from KSW in different promotions across Europe, man. Patchy Mix, again, a guy they recently signed to from long-term Bellator fighter, PFL, 32 years old. He's coming off that loss to Mario Batista here, and we're looking at the current odds. He's minus 225. Just don't know how you can lay those type of odds here on this guy, man. I don't get it, but he's still got to show me that he's UFC worthy. I'm going to take the newcomer, Jacob Wiklacz. Again, don't know a whole lot about him. Just know how I seen Patchy Mix perform, and I would not lay minus 220 on any of that stuff. So I'm going to take the newcomer, Wiklacz, to pick up the win here. Brahimaj against Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford, husband of Paige Van Zandt, 35 years old. Coming off a win over Nikolai Tikhonov. That was back in February of this year, so he's been out a little bit. Good win for him there. Brahimaj. This guy, he's been impressive, man. I didn't think he was quite capable at UFC worthy at first. Seemed like he was getting hurt in that, but man, he's picked up some nice wins. Mickey Gall, Billy Ray Goff, these are all good wins, man. This guy's showing me that he's training hard. He's taking this serious. And if we look at the odds here, Vanderford's a minus 250. It just seems kind of crazy to me. I'm going to pick Brahimaj here. I think he might be the more complete fighter. Again, this should be a good fight. Should be a good grappling fight. But hey, maybe these guys exchange on the feet. But I'm going to side with Brahimaj here. Brogan Walker against Veronica Hardy. Brogan Walker, 2-fight losing streak. I'm surprised she's still on the UFC roster. Lost to Osman Lucindo and Juliana Miller. So she hasn't fought in 2.5 years. So, Veronica Hardy, she's a huge favorite in this fight. She's actually coming off a loss, I believe. Yeah, 29 years old. Wife of Dan Hardy. Lost to Eduardo Mora, but we know how good Mora is. And if we look at the betting odds, Veronica Hardy's a minus 600. So, I will be picking Veronica Hardy here to pick up the win. Farid Basharat against Chris Gutierrez. Gutierrez, 2-fight winning streak, 34 years old. John Castaneda, Huang Li. So he hasn't been fighting too often. He did fight this year, but his last loss was to Yadong Song in that main event back in December of 2023. That's been a while ago. Basharat, he's still undefeated, man. 17-fight win streak. Went over Victor Hugo, Taylor Lapilus. Let's look at the betting odds for this. Basharat, minus 325. I think I'm just going to side with the undefeated fighter here in Basharat to pick up the win. Oliva Gautier against Ozzy Diaz. Diaz, 1-fight winning streak, coming off or win over Drogan Santos. Don't know much about that guy. But again, he has lost to some prospects the UFC put him against, in Pfeiffer and Zhang. And let's look at Gautier. 7-fight winning streak. Knocked out Robert Valentin really quick. Back to the Holloway versus Poirier 3 card. Beat Jose Medina. So the UFC is definitely high in this guy. I'm going to side with Gautier here. Let's look at the betting odds. Minus 950. Wow. So I'm going to pick Gautier here, but again, I don't know how anybody could bet that. Andre Muniz against Edmund Shahbazyan. I don't even know how Muniz is kind of still with the promotion. 1-fight losing streak. Just doesn't seem like this guy wins anymore. I mean, I guess he did beat Jung Young Park by split decision 2 fights ago, but I don't know, man. This guy's always getting knocked out in all of his fights. Recently, you know, Edmund Shahbazyan, you know, the UFC's just bringing him up slowly, but he's on a 2-fight winning streak. Wins over Dylan Butka and Andre Petrosky, and they're giving him another grappler here. And Muniz, I'm going to side with Shahbazyan. He's minus 240 currently. Macy Chiasson against Llanos Santos. Man, who did I pick for this fight? I picked Chiasson here. Again, let's look at the odds here. Chiasson minus 220. Believe she's coming off a loss to Vieira. Yeah, she is. That was back in May. So at least she's fighting more often now. Santos, I think she should be on a win. 2-fight winning streak. Wins over Miesha Tate and Chelsea Chandler. Again, there's just not a whole lot of depth in this women's bantamweight division anymore. I'm going to side with Macy Chiasson to pick up the win. Josh Emmett against Yusuf Zalal. We're on the main card now. Zalal is currently a minus 350 favorite. I don't understand. Zalal is going to be on his bike the whole time in this fight. Emmett's going to be trying to throw haymakers. Emmett's not an easy guy to beat, man. 40 years old or not, this guy brings it, dude. Again, he fought Lerone Murphy tough in a main event back in April. He lost, beat Bryce Mitchell. This guy's got power, man. Yusuf Zalal, I kind of think he's almost reached the ceiling of his potential. 7-fight winning streak. You know, a nice win over Kelvin Katari. Just absolutely stood on his bike and just picked him apart at range. And just outlanded him. And but I'm going to side with Josh Emmett here for the upset. Yuri Prohaska against Khalil Rountree Jr. Again, very impressive both these guys in their recent performances. Yuri's currently a minus 175. I don't really understand that. I like Khalil Rountree here, man. To me, I really liked his performance against Jamal Hill. Man, this guy was really patient. He had the cardio to go 5 rounds. Was landing some heavy and devastating strikes on Jamal Hill. And obviously I had a bet on Khalil in that fight against Jamal. Again, I was just very impressed with this guy, man. This guy's really elevated his career. Yuri, he also defeated Jamal Hill. Probably lost that first round and then, got him out of there. 1 round, 2, then got him out of there in round 3. So again, very impressed with Yuri Prohaska too. This should be a great scrap, man. Hate to see these guys have to face each other, but I'm going to side with Khalil here. Joe Pyfer against Abus Magomedov. Again, I'm going to side with Abus here, the underdog. I like both these guys, but again, Joe Pyfer minus 215. Abus has, to me, a more well-rounded game. He's got a grappling game. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. These guys should both have the cardio to go 3 rounds. But again, Pyfer looked kind of gassed in that Gastelum fight, and Gastelum was landing on him. So again, 2 prospects going against each other. One of them's going to lose. I'm going to side with Abus here. Merab Dvalishvili against Corey Sandhagen. Again, bantamweight title fight. Merab wants to stay active and fight. He just fought in June. Defeated Sean O'Malley by submission, I believe, in the 3rd round. Absolutely dominant performance in that second O'Malley fight. But current betting odds, Merab minus 405. Corey Sandhagen plus 335. So again, this is how you got to price this guy. Merab, he might be the most dominant bantamweight champion we've ever seen, man. This guy it doesn't look like anybody is stopping him soon. 34 years old, 13-fight winning streak. I mean, where do you start with this guy? This guy's just absolutely dominant, man. The UFC tried to keep him from the belt for a long time. This guy deserves every bit of shine he is currently getting. Corey Sandhagen, this guy seems like one of the good guys in MMA. Glad to see him finally get back to the title shot, man. He deserves it. He's a good fighter, man. I mean, he's a really good fighter. 1-fight winning streak, beat Davis and Figueiredo. I knew, I mean, the odds were really skewed in that fight, but I just knew that, Figgy just would not be able to offer that guy anything on the feet. Figgy's better off at flyweight, but, his frame and that might just be too big for it. He lost to Umar, but again, that was a respectable performance against Umar. He was able to stop some of those takedowns, but Umar got him down, I believe. And Umar was landing on the feet too, I believe, in that fight. But that was a good, that was a decent performance from Corey in that fight, man. Umar's a tough out for anybody. Again, dominant wins over Marlon Vera, Rob Font, Yadong Song. I mean, this guy's beat them all, man. I mean, Jan put on a performance against him, 4 years ago, but I'd really like to see how that gets ran back now. I mean, I kind of think Sandhagen's the better fighter, honestly. So, So again, I'm gonna side with Merab here. If Corey can keep this on the feet, he has a chance. But Merab is just an absolute animal. So I'm gonna pick Merab here. Could see a submission win or a decision win, but my pick will be Merab. Main event: Magomed Ankalaev against Alex Pereira. This is their 2nd fight. Again, Ankalaev picked up a unanimous decision back in early March of this year. Ankalaev, 12-fight winning streak, 33 years old. I don't think he's lost since he lost to Paul Craig. And that was back in 2018. Oh my God. I didn't realize this guy's been on the roster that long. That was 7.5 years ago. So again, I did think he won that decision against Pereira. I don't know if it was 3-2 or 4-1, but I had him winning. That closed this pick'em. Pereira, again, I don't really know what's going on. You heard he was injured coming into that fight. 1-fight losing streak. He's going to have to find a way to stay upright in this fight and land more volume if he wants to reclaim that belt. And the current betting odds, Ankalaev minus 205, comeback on Pereira plus 175. So that right there is going to make me side with Pereira. We've seen it was a unanimous win for Ankalaev, but, that closes pick'em. Now you're telling me Ankalaev's minus 205 and the comeback on Pereira's plus 175. I'm going to want to side with Pereira here at those odds. Again, both these guys are probably going to improve and make adjustments. So again, it might play out the same way. It might play out with Ankalaev kind of picking up a dominant win, or could see Pereira make this competitive, possibly knock him out, possibly hurt him in a couple rounds and take a decision win. We're going to find out. I expect more action to obviously pile in on Ankalaev here. People thinking he's a safe pick, but I'm going to side with Pereira here. Maybe he pulls off the upset at these odds. I'm willing to find out. So again, guys, let's look at My picks for this card: Pereira, Dvalishvili, Magomedov, Rountree Jr, Emmett, Chiasson, Shahbazyan, Gautier, Basharat, Hardy, Brahimaj, Wiklacz, and Soriano.